What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified as soon as we drop the latest content on this channel. So let's talk about yesterday's fight. Excuse me, the first fight of this week. We're going to have Crawford versus Spence, of course, later on in the week on Saturday. And this was a very, very impressive performance by Naoya Inoue, a guy who is called the Monster, tremendous punching power. We knew that going into this fight, and this is one where it was, you know, in a sense, kind of boxer versus puncher. But Inoue, what's quite special about him is that he's not just a puncher. He's not merely just a good puncher. Inoue has a tremendous technical ability, and in this fight, that is what was on display. That is what really sort of impressed me the most, was that, okay, he's going in there against an undefeated guy, a world champion, you know, he's got like half the belts in the division. So a very accomplished guy in Stephen Fulton. The only thing Fulton really didn't have is just sort of power and popping his punches going into this fight. You know, he's a guy that mainly goes the distance, and he outboxes his opponents and outfoxes them, and he's that sort of guy. Tall guy for the weight and everything, and he knew he was coming in there as the smaller man who's from a lower weight division, but he does have that tremendous punch, and he's been carrying it with him all the way. And we saw it here. We saw it in his other fight against Nonito Donaire, taking him out in 2 rounds. So we know that he does punch, and that punch does carry. But in this fight, the impressive thing really was the skills on display. I mean, the way Inoue was sort of able to really just put his stamp on this fight from the first round. You know, within the first sort of 30 seconds, Inoue was already in Fulton's face. He was already in there. He was already confident. He made the length of Fulton, because, you know, when you think about it, you think, right, tall fighter, the tall fighter in taller man in Fulton should be sort of keeping Inoue at range, you know, boxing behind the jab and just sort of keeping him at bay, not allowing Inoue to come in and get openings and things of that nature. But Inoue, from the word go, just nullified that, was able to get in there, get close. It was a bit of fencing in the opening, but he was able to get right close up to Stephen Fulton, and he was able to start doing damage from the very beginning. And throughout this fight, really, the long and short of it is that Inoue not only outpunched and outlanded and sort of outfought Stephen Fulton, he also outboxed him. He also proved to be not only the bigger puncher, which we knew going into this, but he proved that he's actually a better technician, a better technical boxer than Fulton going into this. So it wasn't just his big attribute, which is the power that was on display. It was the boxing ability, the way he was able to move around the ring, the way he was able to just box at his own leisure. He's, you know, it's a different style from Mayweather, but just the aspect that reminded me kind of Mayweather and some of these other great fighters of the past that Inoue sort of has, is that he's able to sort of fight at his own pace and always sort of looks very relaxed. He always looks kind of in control of what's going on. So he never really looks like out of sorts or panicked, or that he's breathing heavily or he's breathing hard. He was able to just box this fight, outbox the boxer, outbox the bigger, taller man who's got the longer arms, who should be sort of keeping him at bay. Was able to get inside those long arms, outbox, land his fluid combinations at will, and there was literally nothing that Stephen Fulton could do about it. And to his credit, Fulton, he stayed there as long as he could. He never gave up. He did try to land counters. There was a good right hand he landed somewhere in the mid-round, I think around the 4th round or something. He did land. There was a few good shots that Fulton landed, but overall, there was really nothing he could do with Inoue, because, as I say, Inoue is coming in there as a man with the power, the man with the dynamite, the monster with the thing in his fist, the power in his fist. And, you know, the man with the power and the size disadvantage, was able to turn that disadvantage into an advantage, and he was able to, he outsped Fulton. You know, the speed was a tremendous advantage. You know, Fulton just couldn't get to grips with Inoue at all, and Inoue just outboxed him, outsped him, was too fast, too quick, too fast, too furious. And then in the 8th round, the finish came, and Inoue just put him to sleep. And that was a very, very impressive performance by Inoue. You know, with him, you just think to yourself, how far can he go? You know, can he go to like 126? I hear there's even people talking about, he should be fighting Tank Davis at 135. And, you know, he's one of those small fighters that has just cruised through the weight divisions rather easily, stopping nearly everyone in his way. The only one I can remember that sort of give him trouble or anything to think about recently is Nonito Donaire. That's it, you know, that long fight, but then he soon corrected that. And in that one, I think his orbital was cracked and that. So he's a guy that, he's a phenom. He's definitely up there in the pound for pound list. I'd have no argument with people calling him pound for pound #1, because he's just achieved so much and he just cruises to victory every time, this Inoue. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping we'll get to see the undisputed fight next. Perhaps later on in this year, maybe the winter time or whatever it is. And yeah, I think he's a guy that can just sort of continue to go through the weights. And I think he's a guy that he is that good that it's only really going to be weight or, you know, size that might be able to beat him as he keeps going up. I don't know how he'll fare at like, I think 126 he'll be fine. I don't know about 130. You know, who knows, if his power carries, then he could be all right even at 130. I don't know about 135. I think that's a lot of weight. That's a big difference. But who knows? He's definitely got the skill to move up a few more weight divisions. But it's just a case of, you know, does he have the strength? Does he sort of have the endurance perhaps to go up a couple more weight divisions? But he's the type of guy that he's that good that I wouldn't really doubt him, really. I wouldn't doubt him at all. So yeah, hats off to Naoya Inoue. Fantastic performance, outboxing, outfighting and outpunching Stephen Fulton. Let me know what you thought about the performance, and let me know how far you think Inoue can go in the comment section below. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out. Catch you on the next video.